Hello, everybody. Gage says it's empty. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. This ought to be a real treat. Everything that I've had from Boulevard and their smokestack series has been pretty tasty. This is the Reboot White IPA. And this is in the big bottle, and it's got the cork and the wire cage on top of it. And as far as the glassware, I got the pint glass here, but this has a little bit of wheat in it and Belgian yeast, so I could have used several different glasses, but we're going to do the pint glass since they're calling it a white IPA. The commercial description on this one says, this re-release of our 2011 collaboration series number 2, White IPA, brings back the unique marriage of a classic Belgian Whittier to an American IPA. We enjoyed the experience so much the first time around that we happily pressed Control+C, Command+C for Mac, and Reboot was born. Version 2.0 has upgraded its spicy aroma with hints of bubblegum and clove. Bold flavors will launch upon uncorking as sage and lemongrass balance a tangy, zesty wheat malt profile. Rather than merely blending a Whittier with the IPA, Reboot harmonizes distinctly fruity Belgian yeast overtones with big, fruity American hop notes by creating an herbal bridge between these two somewhat contradictory flavors. The beer's complexity OS supported by a spritzy effervescence, finishing dry with lingering hop notes. This is a 7.4% ABV, IBUs of 48. So the IBUs being at 48, it shouldn't be a very bitter beer. It should be fairly easy drinking, but just remember it's 7.4%, so could get you in trouble if you try to drink all this by yourself and drive down the road. It's a great big bottle. It's enough you can have. You can share some of this, and that's what I intend to do with this. And on the back it says exactly the same thing that I just read to you for the commercial description. And on the front it says malt beverage brewed with spices. So like I said, I've enjoyed pretty much all the smokestack series. They're the bigger beers, more flavorful beers than just the regular beers that they do, like their single wide and double wide and stuff like that, which were pretty tasty beers on their own right there. But the smokestack series seems to be just a notch above that. So let's see what this one brings. All right, they're out of Boulevard's out of Kansas City, Missouri. Food pairings for this beer, and they're calling it an American IPA, which it has wheat and Belgian yeast. So I mean, it's just a marriage of several different styles put together as far as I'm concerned. Food pairing cuisine is curried Thai, cheeses, pepper, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar, your more pungent cheeses, gorgonzola limburger, and the meat is poultry, fish, shellfish, and salmon. I will add grilled meat to that. Glassware, pint, becker, nonic, tumbler, the mug, stein, the sidedale. You could probably use the Wiesen glass for this. You could just about use several different glasses. The chalice probably. But we're going to pour it into pint glass here today. And being an IPA, you wouldn't want to cellar it. But it's 7.4%. It's going to keep for a while. But just remember those hop notes are going to fade pretty quick over time. And I'm not sure. There may be some kind of dating on this. Let's see here. Batch number and best by, and it's got 2014, but the first two numbers are in the black of the Reboot. And I cannot see it. And I don't think putting my Santa Claus glasses on is going to help me with that. Because where it's printed, they've got the month printed in the black on the Reboot there. And I don't think... Looks like it's either 06 or 08 2014. If I was guessing, I would say 08. So best buy date 08 2014, and we're in September already. So damn, we're a month past already. So this may have been out for several months. So I'm still hoping it's going to have a little kick to it. So without further ado, and I just seen this, like I said, guys, I've been gone for quite a while. This may have been sitting at the store waiting for me to come back. And it may have been just a little tastier several months ago. So see if I can get this off. Alright. Nice pop on that one. A lot of smoke coming out of the top of the bottle. And we got enough here to share with the other half. Good looking beer there. About a finger and a half of head. A lot of carbonation, a lot of bubbles streaming up on this one. And it is and there are some floaties around in the bottom of this beer. So it's got some stuff floating around in it. A lot of your wheat beers will, and it's really hard for me to shake this up, especially before you uncork it without it spewing out like champagne. But the other half we'll stir this up, and I'll come back and see how cloudy it is. But it's semi-cloudy with a lot of particles or particulates in it, and I'm sure it'll get a lot cloudier from the bottom of the bottle. Brewed with yeast, all that stuff will be down in the bottom of the bottle. And the head is dissipating. We're down to about a finger, so let's get a head, get a nose on it. Definitely a big Belgian yeast influence on this. I am getting the banana and the bubble gum. A little bit of grapefruit in there, maybe a hint of pineapple. Very citrusy smelling. I can get the cloves. Wow, very nice Belgian nose on this beer. And it doesn't say what yeast that they used, but it definitely got a strong Belgian yeast influence on it. And being a white IPA, I would think that would be a lighter color or a lighter yellow color what it is. And it is. It's slightly lighter. Not quite to the macro lager golden, but it's a little lighter than a typical 7.4% IPA would be. They're a little deeper in the color. And that's usually caused by having a heavier malt bill. I mean, the more malt you put in it, especially trying to get the ABV up in the 7.5%, the more richer, deeper color it's going to be. Usually. Not always, but usually. Well, let's give it a taste. And you can see the head is dissipated, just now barely covered the top of the beer. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. Wow. Very, very tasty. Not bitter whatsoever. Matter of fact, it's just a hint on the tangy side. Alcohol is very well hidden, not getting any of that 7.4%. Very nice, very crisp, very clean, very tasty. Strong Belgian yeast influence on this beer. Very nice, very, very nice. It's so nice. Let's see if I can get some more of that stuff out of the bottom in here. Let me save some of that. Oh yeah. A lot of chunkiness in this beer, guys. Wow. Well, we're going to let it warm up just a hair. It's right out of the fridge, 40 degrees, and pour her a glass out of this one, and we'll come back and do the final chug. But This definitely tastes like an A beer to me. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. There is some lightly chunkiness to the beer, but it didn't get really super cloudy after we poured in the last of the bottle into her glass. So not quite as cloudy as I was expecting it to get when we poured the last of it in there, but very pleasant, very nice. I'm definitely on the lighter side as far as mouthfeel. A nice clove, coriander presence to the Belgian IPA that this is. Very enjoyable though. Let's do the final chug. After looking at the date on the bottle, and it looks like it's 08/2014, and we're into September, I do feel that this would have been a little more tastier. It probably had a slightly stronger hop presence a couple of months ago. So still, it may even got to 10 back then, but right now it's a little subdued to me. A nice wheat Belgian yeast presence. The clove and coriander is there. A nice bubblegummy grapefruit, tangerine, pineapple taste to it, but everything seems to be a little subdued, and I'm thinking that's because of the age. So I'm not going to fault the beer for that. It's my fault for not paying more closer attention to it, but I've seen it and I hadn't reviewed it, and I wanted to grab it and review it because I do like just about everything that the Smokestack series beers offer. But like I said, it probably would have been a 10 beer to me when it was fresh. So with what I'm getting right now, we're going to give it to 9 out of 10. So that's where I'm going to leave it. Let's see what everybody else thinks. We'll go over to Beer Advocate, and Beer Advocate doesn't have any scores at all. It says no scores. They've only had 8 people rated, it looks like. So don't know what's up with that. Only 8 people have drank this beer? I don't think so. So I don't know why they don't have enough ratings to give it a grade. Over to Rate Beer, they say 98 overall and 98 in the style. And they've had quite a few people rate this beer. Looking at all the ratings, there's a few of them there. And there's definitely enough to get an average. So I don't know how many Beer Advocate has to have before they'll publish a rating. And a lot of that is Beer Advocate don't require you to give any comments anymore. You can just put down it's a 3.5 or 4.0 or whatever, and that's done. You don't have to tell them what you're tasting or what do you feel about the beer or anything. I'm not a big fan of that. So 98 for these guys over at Rate Beer. If I was putting a numeric rating on, that's about where I would put it, somewhere between 97, 98. Very tasty. A nice example of a white IPA. A little subdued now that it's a tad past its prime, but still enjoyable. Definitely worth picking up. I don't know how often they're going to be doing this beer, or if it's a brewed once only beer, or if they're going to do a rotating on it. Let's see if it has any information. It says availability is fall, so I don't know if this is their fall availability. We're just now into September, and technically not even got into fall yet. We're still in the end of summer, so it is what it is. It's very enjoyable. I did enjoy this. It's a nice change up from the standard American style IPAs with that Belgian yeast kick to it. I liked it, so just wish I'd got it just a little fresher. So it is what it is. That's the ratings. If you've had this one, let me know what you think, guys, and we'll take a look tomorrow and see what's in the fridge. See you then.